the Unhealed and Unfiltered podcast. I'm Simone and this is my co-host Amelia.
Hi guys. So in today's episode we're going to be talking about our lives and how we grew up differently but had similar things happen to us. I think it's
Same
more
thing,
similar.
different fonts.
Yeah, I think it gets more similar, like teenage years.
Yeah.
But yeah, should I start?
Yeah.
I feel like mine's
start.
not as heavy at the beginning.
Go for it.
But so I grew up very good family at the start.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've still got a really good family now, to be honest with you. But my parents, they owned a pub / hotel, and then my nana had a hotel as well. I used to spend like all my time there.
I love that.
Yeah, and like she had like a swimming pool, so it was really fun for me as a kid.
love
Yeah, it was
that.
like an indoor one. So.
I wish I had your life.
But like it was really fun. Like my babysitter used to be the swimming pool. This is why I'm a strong swimmer now.
I love swimming.
Because like I'd just be sent into the pool like, oh yeah, Amelia's here for the day. Amelia, go swimming. It's fine. We've got work to do.
Did you get taught how to swim?
Yeah, when I was like, I don't even remember learning.
Do you know how I got taught how to
Thrown
swim?
into a pool.
My sister threw me into a pool when we were in Turkey.
I love that.
And I couldn't swim, and she was like,
You'll figure it out.
yeah.
I
And
should
did.
do that with Charlie.
No, you shouldn't.
I
No,
should
you
do that.
shouldn't.
No, it's how my dad learned to swim. So I think that's might be how I teach Charlie. Just take him to the leisure
But you might
centre.
have a fear of like drowning because
No, he
that's my
doesn't.
fear.
He doesn't.
He doesn't now because
No,
you've
he
not...
doesn't. You should see him in the bathtub.
Yeah, no, I love a bath, but like drowning, the sea. I hate the sea.
To see. You love a good lake, though.
I
Yeah.
love
Well,
the
we'll
lake.
talk about that
Love
at
the
some
lake.
point,
Yeah.
the lake story.
Yeah.
But no, so I learned how to swim probably at like 3, 4, like really, really young.
That's good.
Yeah, and like from the age of 6 and up, I'd just be left in the pool to swim by myself.
I love that.
Like
They had so
thinking
much
back
faith
on
in
it,
you.
thinking back on it, like, are you okay, Amelia? This isn't normal. But like, it was fun then.
Yeah.
Like, I got to play mermaids all the time. Summer holidays was amazing because
I still play mermaids now.
I wish I could. I need to go to a pool. I used to put a sock on both of my feet, so my feet would be like tied together, so I could be like a thin. It's like the smartest thing you can do.
I might try that when I go on
Yeah,
holiday.
do it.
I go on holiday in June.
Or like a hair bobble to keep your ankles together.
Maybe.
That's literally what I used to do, so I'd have a tail. But like, I used to take friends up there and everything all the time.
Can
And
you not buy like mermaid tails? I might get one for holiday.
I always wanted one. I got a knitted one. I can't use that in a
Knitted
pool. Like, it was a blanket. But yeah, and like, I fucked my back up. You know, my spinal injury that
Yeah.
started in that pool. Because I went to
Right.
dive in the pool and my back arched over and slapped onto the water.
Oh, great.
And then from then I've had back spasms, spinal injuries and everything throughout my whole life.
Back of a 70-year-old.
Yeah, literally my back's awful, isn't it? Like, I complain on a daily basis about my back. But yeah, and then I think my parents split up when I was like 10,
Mm-hmm.
which sent me into a bit of a traumatic thing because I was like, oh my god, I'm a child of divorce. Even though I wasn't divorced because you were never married.
It basically is though because
Yeah.
like, you have like you had a kid together. Which
Yeah,
is
you got
you.
me. And they had my sister. My dad raised my sister
Uh-huh.
from when he was like 9.
Yeah.
She was 9. She's not a he. She is
I'm
a
just
she.
trying to-
Because my sister's 10 years older than me. Sorry, I'm itching my leg. But my sister's 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
You okay, Beth?
Yeah, sorry, I was trying so hard for it not to distract. This keeps dragging on the table and I feel like it's gonna get picked up by the mic, so that's why I was
Yeah, it's
just
fine. But yeah, and then what else have I done with my younger life? I used to be really into sports. I know you were into sport.
Yeah, I was a rugby player from
I
like
did
7.
rugby. I did rugby, football, dancing,
Mhm.
everything, and then I stopped it all when I was like 11, just as I was going into year 7, which is when like my little childhood depression started. I
Yeah.
trauma blocked so I don't remember anything before like the age of 12. Like some things happened. I don't know what's happened. My therapist said something happened to me, and like I've just blocked out my whole childhood. So that's why I'm
No, I get
very
that.
like on my childhood when I speak about it because
I
I
get
don't remember it.
I don't remember like my childhood in like full detail, but I remember like
Little
the
details.
traumatic things. Some of the traumatic things that happened, but like not in like massive.
Yeah.
Like
the
now that I'm
blurs.
sitting here and saying it, like loads of things are like flooding my memory.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, like I just never. And I don't think I ever realised, like, how bad, like, things were until I was out of, like, the situation.
Do you want to go into your situation?
Basically, when I was younger, my mum was a smug addict, and if you know what I mean. Not just that. No, not just that. But yeah, she was in and out of prison, constantly like getting done for, you know, those type of offences.
Yeah.
Also like battery offences as well, I think. So she was very absent in my life. I didn't have a mum, basically. And I lived with somebody, for context, my biological dad actually died, and I didn't find that out until later in my life. But I lived with I think it was my mum's
boyfriend?
No, it was my mum's cousin. Confusing. And I got brought up to think that was my dad.
So a very distant cousin.
Kind of, but I got brought up to think that was my dad.
Right.
And he was an alcoholic. Obviously, some type of abuse happened there. Yeah, and it was like he would pick me up from school, go straight to the pub.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what a vegetable was. I knew what fruit was because we ate fruit at school. We had like fruit and milk and stuff, so I knew what that was, but I did not know what like vegetables were. And I went to my grandma's, and it was like I had a diet. I was quite a heavy child as well because of it. I had a diet of pizzas, kebabs, sausage rolls, anything.
Basically
that was
what
open.
you could get after
anything was
a pub.
open. Yeah. There'd be times where I was like 3 or 4, like literally carrying a fully like grown man home. But yeah, like, and then my mum was pretty like absent like throughout like
Your
childhood,
childhood,
yeah, until I was about, I'd probably say about like 9, and then I used to see her and my stepdad, and then I went into care like after like I lived with my grandma when I was like 5 onwards, because obviously he was an alcoholic, wasn't fit to be a parent. Social services got involved, blah blah blah. And then yeah, my grandma took me on, and things happened there as well. Obviously, she was set in her own ways. I was a rebellious child.
I don't think you were rebellious. I think you're trying to work through everything that happened
trying to regulate everything, and I didn't know how to regulate.
And you
emotions.
didn't know that it was wrong. What happened?
No, and
that you thought it was normal for that to happen, so you assumed everyone went through it. So when you're acting out like that, I assume you yourself thought you were a bad child as well.
I used to think I was a horrible child. Like, I was that child, you know, when people say, don't go near that child because that's such a bad person, you know, and like that was the reputation that I had, and it was awful. And if I could go back in time, I would absolutely change it, but you know.
That's put things into perspective for me though, because like obviously growing up, every child's around someone like that, and like you'd always hear people say like, oh, you can't hang out with them, oh, you don't want to be associated with them, but now thinking of it, you never really know what someone goes through.
And it's like, I think obviously when you get older, you kind of like
realise,
you're like, oh, like obviously they went through a really bad place, and you know that's why they acted that way, but you don't realise that until you are a lot older.
Yeah, because as a child you're just like, oh my god, they don't know
my
how
mum
to
told
behave.
Yeah, my mum told me not to hang about with people like you, or my mum specifically said don't hang about with you. You know, and I had a lot of friends like that, like whose parents said that, because obviously who wouldn't? I was smoking at the ripe age of like 10, 11. I was constantly like running away from home because I didn't want to be there because of like obviously things that were happening at home.
You got into smokes quite young.
Yeah, I started. The herbal
special
things.
Cigarettes.
Yeah. I got into like the herbal side of things quite young, and then I just from there I just obviously had the reputation of being this really bad kid, and then I ran away one day and just never went home again. Put myself into care, and
it's when you this isn't the time you left school and told everyone that.
No. That was when I was in my first ever foster placement.
Right, okay.
Do we talk about that? Okay, so...
If you feel comfortable.
Yeah, no, of course. I'm a yapper, I'll talk about anything. Yeah, so basically when I was at school, I think I want to say I was in like year 8.
Yeah.
Maybe I was in year 9, I can't really remember. and it was like the end of the school year. I asked everyone in my year to get like group pictures because I was moving schools. I wasn't actually moving schools. I tried to. Obviously it failed, so then I started acting out even more just so I would get moved from that placement. So then people didn't think I was a liar because obviously I didn't intend on being present, you know. But yeah, and I ended up moving to Manchester. And that carer is
not gonna be discussed.
I mean, she could be. I don't like her. I don't like her. She made it very clear that I wasn't her child.
Yeah.
And that she made it very clear that, you know, she had other children.
Was she like one of the people who were like in it for the money?
I think so.
Yeah.
I was there for 2 weeks. I don't know how this got past like anybody, like manager wise. I was there for 2 weeks, and then when I think it was like a week before I moved there, she told them, "Oh, we're going on holiday to Turkey." My favourite place. I was like, "Yeah, let's go. Love that." And I thought, that's great. She then, on this holiday, accused me of trying to flirt with her son, who was old enough, who had 2 kids, by the way, and I was 15. And her oldest daughter hated me. Her youngest daughter loved me, you know, and she just made it very clear when she was drunk that I wasn't her child and that, yeah, she just didn't like me. So I just was like, yeah, cool. Rang my social worker when I got back home and I said, I'm not staying here another day. You need to come and get me today. And that's exactly what they did. And then took me to Blackpool, near Blackpool. Lived there for a while and then I moved to here.
God bless you.
And that's really where everything kind of kicked off when I moved here.
Yeah.
I've moved away from here.
We live in a very small town.
We can maybe say like we live in in the Lake District.
Yeah, we live in the Lake District. We live in a very small town, and everyone here knows it's such a bitchy town, and it's very much you're either making lots of money or you're making none. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And there's no in between.
It's either you've got a job in the biggest place that there is here,
in the country, literally one of the biggest companies in the country.
Or you're a doctor, a nurse, a carer. If you're not any of them, then I feel like you're kind of irrelevant.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Chanel's like, yes. The camera, like, yes, healthcare.
Chanel is a healthcare worker.
I used to be.
Support worker. Yeah. But yeah, like it just. And I think it's a very bad place for like kids to grow up.
There's nothing here, so we literally have a park.
Yeah, we used to have so much.
There used to be like a bowling alley. There used to be the go-karting centre. There used to be what else did we use?
The trampolines.
The trampolines. Are the trampolines not here anymore?
No.
Oh, great.
Where have you been?
I don't know. I don't leave the house.
But yeah, no, like I think this place, like obviously you've grew up here your whole life.
Yeah, I grew. No, but not really.
Yeah, but like in this area. Yeah.
But like I said, I was never here. I was at my grandma, well, my nana's, which she never lived around Barrow until like I was in my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would be at my nana's every weekend, so I never had to socialise here. And I think that's why my childhood was a lot different and my early teens were a lot different, because I never fell in with a crowd that was going to lead me astray.
Mm-hmm.
I fell into a crowd when I was like 15, 16. I started drinking, smoking, all that lot.
I was
at like 15, 16.
I think I was about 14 when I just like moved here, and I kind of instantly got in with the wrong people.
Yeah.
And I think because I thought I was such a bad person, I kind of gravitated towards that.
But you're not a bad person.
No, I'm not anymore.
I
understand it. Like,
yeah. But you look back on it and like,
I think because people were tarnishing me with that brush, I wanted to be that person because that's what everyone expected me to be anyway.
It's like when you hear a rumour about yourself and you're like, well, if you say I'm doing it, I'm gonna do it anyways.
Literally.
Oh yeah. But like I said, never got in with the wrong crowd till I was like 15, and like I think that did me a lot of good, but I also think if I went through what I went through when I was 16, 17, 18, younger,
it would have.
my life would be so much different, because being in with those people, I started drinking when I was like in school, like heavily. I went through a really bad patch when I was in my like
going to school hungover.
Yeah, same.
It was bad, and like I just thought that was a norm.
But like I never drank in fields. Like I went to a school though, which in our area you get called a posh if you went to a school. And like it had just become a public school when I started, maybe a year or two before.
Yeah, because it used to be a boarding school.
No, private.
It was private school,
yeah. So the year or two before I started, it became public. So it was a mixture of all these kids that were there from like kindergarten when it was still private, and a mixture
so American.
Yeah, literally. Like all of these people mixed in with people who were coming from like little rough areas, and we were all joining together. And like I had a mixture of friends, so we'd never drink in fields. We'd go to someone's house and we'd be drinking bottles of prosecco and shit in their like back gardens and stuff.
I used to drink Lambrini.
Yeah, see, this is what I mean. Like we went through the same thing,
the same thing, different.
Like Chanel drinks Lambrini now.
You drink that now?
Yeah.
Is that what you do?
She likes Lambrini though.
No.
But like I've tried some and it makes me feel so ill. Like it's disgusting how people drank that. But it's probably why I like Prosecco now.
Maybe.
Like the first time I got drunk of Prosecco drunk is a dangerous game as an adult, let alone a 12, 13-year-old. And I was at like one of my friends' family parties, and like we probably drank 2 or 3 bottles, which back when I was like that age, starting drinking.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Amelia was. I had a bath with a bin.
Even Chanel's like giving her the what?
So.
But then doesn't that make you dirty? No, like an actual bath?
Listen.
I was
listen to the story.
Like...
So I was a bit tipsy, got home, my dad was like, Amelia, the bin needs washing, because like we clean our bins. So me being me, like 13, pissed, I was like, oh yeah, I'll shower the bin, give it a scrub, and then I got myself wet. I was like, oh, I need a bath now. So I went and got a bath, and the bin was like still in my bath, but it had been clean, so it was a clean bin.
I mean, we listen and we don't judge, but
that's what I'm on about. Like,
see, like I was like drinking with people who were, bearing in mind I am at the age of like people that I was drinking with, so like 21, 22, and when I was 15 I had a 25-year-old girlfriend, and also when I was 15 I had a 30-year-old girlfriend.
I think I get grossed out by people who are 21 and I'm 22. Yeah. Like, literally anyone younger than me. Chanel, I'm sorry, she's 21. I mean, like,
we love
in a relationship with, don't worry. But, like, I couldn't see myself doing that with anyone younger than me.
But this is what I mean, like, I must have been a fucking pretty sick 15-year-old. Do you know what I mean? I must have been so cool. Because why are you wanting to hang about with 15-year-olds? Why are you wanting to get 15-year-olds drunk? Why am I having a girlfriend who was 30, who had children, by the way, and yeah, like, that's just so crazy to me, and I thought I was, like, the bee's knees.
You weren't, though. No.
But then I think that's what kind of led me to get into that kind of
lifestyle.
Grooming gang. And I think that's why... I wouldn't really call it a grooming gang, because it wasn't. It was just a very sick-minded... like about like 5 people, 6 people, very sick-minded individuals who just preyed on children girls. Because they're like, yeah. But I think as well they kind of seen me as an easy target because I was in care.
Yeah.
Because obviously everyone started to find out I was in care. So it was, yeah.
But you kept running away, and
I was always in the newspapers, on the news.
Police posts everywhere, like. You were constantly running away, and then you'd disappear, and you'd feel bad, wouldn't you, after a couple days?
Yeah, and I'd go back and like, hi, I'm here. And then there was one time that I was actually like missing for 2 weeks.
Didn't you call the police to come and get you?
Well, yeah, but basically I had been locked in a flat by these older men, obviously, that were feeding me all sorts, apart from food. And yeah, like, it was a really strange like thing. But yeah, then when I got out of there, like, rang the police, and then they were like, Now I rang my care home and I was like, "Can you come and get me?" And they're like, "No, that's the police's job. That's the police's job." And I was like,
because you're a missing person. So
"Yeah,
they
but I
wouldn't
was
allow.
yeah, but they are allowed to.
Oh.
That's the thing. They're allowed to come and pick me up, and then the police can come and see me at home and make sure I'm okay."
Oh.
Yeah, so like they kind of didn't help my situation, and yeah.
But you moved away not long after that, didn't you?
Yeah, so I moved away.
Which was like the best thing you could do. Oh no, before that happened, before you moved away, you met Arabella, didn't you?
Yeah, so Arabella is my adopted mum, and I love her so much. Like, she saved me in more ways. If you're watching this, Mum, hi, I love you. Like, she saved me in so many ways. Like, you know, the one thing that she told me, and I want to share this with people because it's like, it was like the one thing that stopped me from living that lifestyle. She said to me, "No matter what you do in your life, it could never make me love you any less, and I will never be angry with you. I just want you to come home." And that was it. I've never had somebody in my life. I'm gonna cry. She's crying. Chanel's crying. Like, I have never had that in my life of, like, you know, somebody actually cared about me that much. She's sobbing behind the camera.
She's like got her sleeves and she's wiping her tears.
But yeah, like, and I feel like, you know, obviously coming from a place where I did, like, I was like, oh my god, like, she actually loves me.
She cares.
She, you know, and yeah, she like helped me so much. But obviously, I was still a little bit rebellious. But basically, I had begged the police that I couldn't be in this town any longer. Like, it was killing me. Like, literally, it was either I went away or I wasn't going to be here anymore.
Yeah. But like with everything that you went through, because this is when your smug addiction got very, very strong, because it was being pumped into you by these people.
Older people, like all these people, like who now like are in prison, got kids and stuff like that.
Still crying. But no, it's wild because like I know what you did for special cigarettes and things, but like
that
your
was
life would have been so
to
different if you hadn't met these people.
And I'm so glad that I did. So basically, like, so for people who don't really know how like the care system works, like you go to somebody for what's called respite, and it's basically to give either your parents, your carers, like a little bit of like
a break.
Yeah, a break, yeah. And then they kind of have you for the weekend. And that's all she ever was to me at first. Like, I'd go see her at the weekend, or I didn't even like to stay at a house on my own. There was a girl that I used to hang about with, and I would make her come and stay at Arabella's with me, and because I was scared, like, reasonably, you know, I was obviously, like, I think I was scared of, like, abandonment again. Like, I didn't want to build a connection with someone again for it to then be like, oh, now you've got to move, now you've got to move, now you've got to do this. But yeah, and, like, she was brilliant, and then I moved away. I was still only seeing Arabella, like, very thing. There was a time where I went for Christmas to her house just before I moved, because she asked me what I was doing for Christmas and everyone else had gone home. Like, so she said to me, "What are you doing for Christmas?" And obviously I was like, "Oh, I'm at the care home, I'm by myself." And she was like, "No, you're not. You're coming with me. We're going down to London to stay with my family." And ever since that day, like, she took me, and it kind of confirmed a lot of things for me. Like, I'd never had that sense of reassurance in my life. But yeah, and then I moved away to Scotland. Well, I moved to Carlisle for like a couple of weeks, but I hated it because my biological mum was there. She was on the and then I got moved to Scotland, and it was the best time of my life. I stopped all the smugs and I stopped drinking.
You became religious?
I became religious.
That's got
didn't really last very long, but I did. I kind of was trying to see how my life could be a bit different, and when I moved to Scotland, I was again in a care home, but it was like I wasn't allowed to leave the house on my own because obviously I'd run away so much
history.
And yeah, so obviously there was 2 times that I ran away. I was there for like a couple of years. Bearing in mind when I lived here, like first, it was like every other day I was running away. So twice in 2 years while I was living there was nothing.
So how old are you at this point?
So I got moved from here on the 1st of July, and my birthday's on the 13th. So I was 15, and I moved to Carlisle, and I spent like my thing there, my 16th birthday there, and I had a support worker. Well, it was like kind of like it was like a therapy kind of guy,
Yeah.
but he wasn't. He did it in ways that you would never think it was therapy, and I loved him
Like
so
this?
much. Yeah, kind of,
Yeah,
but like
so just
basically-
talking.
He had like a big roll of wallpaper, and we'd like draw my feelings and my thoughts on it. It was like, that sounds very special. Like,
No, I
do you
had
know
a
what I
therapist
mean?
like that.
And he was
And
so
she used to
good.
give you like art projects to do at
Yeah.
home and stuff. Like, right, here's like some card. I want you to
Yeah.
take this, bring it back to your next session, and just have it covered in your feelings, your emotions. After that, I ghosted her and never went back because I can't do art. Yeah, but I can't do art, so I crashed out over that. Had a mental
He used to do
breakdown.
all the like writing and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I didn't get that. I had it as homework.
Yeah, see, like he wasn't like a therapist. He was like somebody who obviously worked with social services. I think I might burp. Sorry. Pardon. Yeah, so he worked with social services, and I think he was basically there to kind of, you know, like make sure that we were okay. Obviously, we weren't, but he was really nice, and I will say his name. He was called Sean, and he was like the nicest man ever. And on my 16th birthday, when I got moved to Carlisle, he actually came all the way to Carlisle and got me balloons and brought his 2 little dogs so we could go to the park and walk. Like, it was lovely, and it was like, so I like sometimes still keep in contact with him now.
Yeah.
Like, I drew a picture like one of the times, like for one of like my projects, like you were saying, but this is when I finally moved to Scotland, and it was like a visual representation of how I felt in life.
Yeah.
It was like a woman at the bottom of a cliff, and like it was 2 cliff edges, and you had obviously like at that time it was my family, because like I felt like everyone hated me. And then there was like people throwing love down, but then the love wasn't long enough to get down there. So it was like I still hated myself. Like, guys, don't cry on me.
I'm not gonna cry. No, you'll ruin my streak. I've not cried for 8 months. I've not cried for 8 months, and I'm not ruining my streak.
But yeah, like it was like one of those.
But yeah, I think it's
He's
so
so
wild
good.
how like at this age, at like 16, you were going through all this. Like, I thought I went through a lot at 16. Like, I was like, I didn't speak to my parents much. I went and moved myself into my nana and granddad's. Luckily, they moved close by enough.
Yeah.
They could drive me to school. It was like half-hour drive, but it was fine. They got me into my first therapist that I ever had, and I don't do therapists. I ghosted her. I then got karma because I got ghosted by a therapist when I was like 19. I'm sure I've told you about
yeah,
this.
I think you have, yeah.
But I thought that was bad for me, and then obviously I was in year 11. I was the COVID year for year 11.
Yeah. I was in Scotland in COVID, and because I was we went into lockdown in the November,
Yeah.
whereas yous went like quite
In
quite
March.
late.
Yeah, we went into lockdown in the March, but like my dad found out he had cancer in the first lockdown, so we went. I was working at this point in a care home, like.
Mm.
And I was working on an end-of-life unit. I was doing cleaning at the time,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like helping out where I could and stuff, because
Yeah.
obviously you have to be over
Yeah.
a certain age to do that stuff. But I was working full-time, and then when my dad found out he had cancer, he went and moved in with my stepmom because she was a nurse, so, well, she still is a nurse. And it was just better for him to be there because I was obviously around all these people, might contract COVID. So I basically got given a 4-bedroom house for free in a very nice area, and my dad was still paying all the bills off and everything. So I was just living there rent free. So you can imagine the scenes that were caused, like, oh yeah, it was lockdown. It was not lockdown at my house.
Yeah, no, the
Because,
parties.
yeah,
the parties
many
were
a
crazy.
party.
Was it not? Did like something get smashed or something
There was a
by
hole in the wall.
ES?
There was a hole
You
in the
know who I'm on
wall.
about?
I think so.
Beard.
No.
Was that not
No,
him?
that wasn't my house.
Was it not?
No.
Oh, was that at someone else's
I
house?
think so.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. But there was a big hole in the wall. We were getting my kitchen renovated at one point, and my friend fell top to bottom down the stairs, bashed into the new kitchen counters at the bottom with solid wood. They were like solid oak wood, and they all fell on her arm. She continued drinking the full night, and at 9 a.m. we woke up, and she was like, "Yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna have to go to hospital." So we had to like walk her up to the hospital. Luckily, I live near there, so
I do kind of miss lockdown.
yeah, no same.
But because I was so I
got so skinny. I lost so much weight in
I
lockdown.
was the skinniest I have ever been. So I was like a size 4 into a size 6, like UK sizes.
Yeah.
But I loved it. Like I lived in the middle of nowhere. I lived like, there was literally on my street, so there was our house, and I think there was like maybe 5 other houses and a church at the end, and it was just all surrounded by fields. It was brilliant. I loved it. Like going walks. I used to go on walks, runs, everything.
I used to do a minimum. This was when I was like peak eating disorder as well, though. And, and like I'd walk a minimum of 10 miles a day. Yeah. It had to be a minimum of 10 miles a day. I got my dad to buy me a dog, actually. I didn't even tell him he was buying me a dog. I just went, oh, we've got to go to this place tomorrow. I went, why? I went, because I'm getting a dog. He went, oh, why? Have you saved up the money? I went, no, I'm using your card. I was like, I was hoping you'd transfer it.
Typical.
But I'm not spoiled. But
compared to
no, I was
my
about
life,
to
I was gonna say
I'm not spoiled.
But from my point of view, I would have probably said I was spoiled.
My dad, he'd never give me money if I wasn't working. He's always made sure I've had a job. He's always made sure I'm on some form of path. Like, if I didn't have a job and I was like, oh, can I have 20 quid? He'd be like, no.
See, I think that's why I'm so bad with money now, because in care, you're not allowed to have your own money. Yeah. Because obviously you can go and do what you want with that. I think when I was like 16, I got opened a bank account and accidentally got done for fraud. Because somebody asked me if she could send me money into my account, and it wasn't her sending me the money. But then she was like, could you then send it to this person? So I was like, yeah, cool. Obviously, I didn't know that, like, that wasn't her. She's, like, sent the details and stuff. They've sent the money. And it turns out they've actually been scamming people on Facebook, saying, like, they were selling, like, iPhones and...
I remember you telling me this,
like, iPhones, laptops, everything. And I was, like, really oblivious to everything. And I think because I never had my own money, I didn't really, like...
No.
Yeah. Like, nobody ever taught me about money, and I think that's why I'm so bad with money now.
I've never been taught how to manage money. I think this should be taught at school, like how to manage money.
Instead of algebra, tell us how to save money.
Literally, I've never used algebra. Like...
No, but yeah, like...
Sokotoa, is that a thing?
Sokotoa.
Sokotoa is a thing.
I used to love Sokotoa in school.
I don't even know what that is. That's how, like, uneducated I feel.
Love it. But and I do think that should be taught in school, because I'm 22 now and I'm only just starting to figure out how my money works.
Yeah, literally, I was about to say, like, I turned 23 this year.
Yeah.
And...
Oh shit, Sam. Oh.
And yeah, but you've just turned, like, in September.
You're only 2 months older than me, though.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, what the hell? As if I was about to count that my hands. But yeah, no, like, it's just... So yeah, I think from my point of view, I would have seen you as, like, spoiled. Yeah. Obviously, like you say, you weren't spoiled, but from my point of view, you get whatever you want, you know. And I get that now with my fiance. I love you.
Thanks, Reese.
Thanks, Reese. But yeah, like, it's so crazy how we can go through, like, similar things, but, like, also, like, have, like, completely different, like, outcomes of it.
It's like, I don't know if people will even see what we've gone through as similar, because we've not gone too much into detail about it. Like, you talked about your little gang thing. When I was 17, I don't know if I should speak about this.
If you're comfortable.
I don't think I am.
Okay.
Just because...
It's a safe space, but if you don't want to...
I don't think I am. But I'll lightly... talk about it. Reese is here.
It's fine.
But I'll lightly discuss it. Yeah. I knew someone who knew someone that was related to me. He was like 10 years older than me. Yeah. It turns out, like, he met me like once or twice when I was 5. Yeah. And then we started.
Bit of a creep.
Yeah. But he was like, oh, I didn't realise who you were until after we linked up, because he didn't know me through that association until after I was out with that person. And he saw me. I started going out around town when I was like 16 as well, like 16, 17.
See, like, I was just drinking and going and doing that kind of stuff.
But I was working in a pub, glass collecting, when I was in school. They didn't know I was in school, but they do now.
The first job that I got, I was working in, like, a nightclub / cocktail bar. Actually, no, I worked, you know, the Fisherman's Arms.
Yeah.
On the coast.
Mm.
Yeah. That's where I first worked.
I first started working. I was working school nights, and I think this is what fucked me over so much in my final year of school, because I'd be working and I'd finish late, and then I'd get home, and then I'd wake up and not want to go to school because I'd be drained, and then I'd have so much anxiety around it as well.
Yeah.
Because I put a lot of weight on when I was in
this.
school as well. Like I put a lot of weight. I went on the pill, and I gained like 3.5 stone like really quickly. Like I'm not saying I was a really small person originally, but I was sporty. You were
quite healthy.
Yeah, I was
like,
a very healthy person. And then like I went on the pill, and like whenever I'm on the pill I get cravings for food.
Yeah.
So that was happening to me as well. I put loads of weight on, so I was getting like really anxious about that.
That's
then
like,
I started drinking.
You then was like me now.
Yeah.
Like really anxious about my weight.
And then like I started drinking, which doesn't help your weight. And then I started going out when I was in school still, and then I continued going out throughout COVID when I could, when pubs were open and stuff. And I finally turned 18 and town just got boring, and now I'm just like, oh, like I'll go out once a week because I work.
It's like a social
It's
thing.
a social thing. It's not even to go out anymore or to drink. It's the fact like I work 5 days a week from home, so I'm always in my house. I have a babysitter, and then I go get Charlie, I come back, I'm looking after baby, I'm in the house. Like I don't get out much, so I do think I don't care admitting this either. On a Friday or Saturday night I will go out, I will go and sit in a pub.
But you're allowed
But
to.
I have a babysitter, it's fine.
You're allowed
like
to.
everything's, all my ducks are
I feel
in rows.
like people are a bit like
judgmental.
Yeah, like because it's like even though you've had a baby, it's like, oh, you've had a child, you shouldn't go out. It's like
you
did your
can't
mum and dad
enjoy
not go
your
out?
life. Like the thing is, I'm 22. I'm still young. I'm not gonna stop enjoying my life just because I've had a child.
Because
my child's always looked after.
Exactly, and it's not like he's with somebody that
is gonna.
Yeah, he's like and it's like as well, you can still go out and live your life.
Exactly.
Like he can then get to know your other like your family members and like your mum and like sisters whatnot, and it's like people are just too judgmental about like like when you turn like a certain age and like you have kids, you shouldn't go out. And it's like, well, no, because as long as that child is safe.
So we've just had the babysitter drop Charlie off. So I'm gonna have to quickly wrap things up for this episode.
So we are gonna go. I've also got a doctor's appointment that I'm gonna be a bit late to, but it's fine.
It's fine. You need to stop booking appointments.
I know, but in my defence, I never got.
It was a last minute doctor's appointment.
I was having
a meant-to-be.
I was having health anxiety to the max, but we're fine now. Today I feel fine, so...
The appointment's
just going to be for to check my blood pressure. In compute?
No, I cannot compute.
Anyways.
So we are going to wrap up for this episode.
Yeah.
We'll probably touch base on this again, because I do have some more things to say.
Yeah. We'll probably carry it on. We'll probably... it's probably like a 2-part.
Yeah.
We'll do like a 2-part episode.
And then we'll probably...
Yeah.
Just rant and rave again.
As we always do.
But thank you for watching.
And we hope that you enjoyed last week's episode.
Don't forget to follow all of our social medias, which will be in the description box below. Because as you saw in the last episode, Simone didn't do any editing, I did.
Sorry. I don't know how to edit really, so maybe I should like touch bases on that.
Yeah. Or just don't promise things that I'm not going to do.
Okay, yeah, thanks. Okay.
There we go.
But yeah, so comment everything that you want to know. Comment if you've got any questions.
Comment if you have any ideas.
Yeah, subscribe because we want some more. We want some people. We're not a little army, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Still want that. So yeah.
See you
until
all next week.
Yeah. Bye.